So we'll move on to our last and final speaker now, who is Lucy from Mirra. Where are you, Lucy? Hi, how are you? Excuse me. So Lucy is basically one of our members. I'm sure you've seen and been in her photo booth, because she's been at our events a few times. She was at our 10-year anniversary party at Collick Hall 2 years ago with the booth. 2 years, I think she's now been going, and Lucy provides a unique digital photo experiences at all types of events, and that's anything from weddings to parties to fully branded corporate events, and also works with various brands across the UK. Super fun. So just tell us a bit about what it is that makes your photo booth different to us, Lucy.
So I have all open air booths, so they can be used as a digital marketing tool as well. So great for businesses with data collection at exhibitions, or installed in businesses to create sort of capture the moment and create some content to power on social media and things like that. So I help businesses growing their businesses. So when I tell people what my business is, the response I usually get is, that's great for weddings. And it's like, no, weddings is a really small part of my business. Actually, as a marketing tool, it's such a clever way to get people to engage with a brand, whether it's at an exhibition or in a shop or a restaurant, cafe, bar, anything like that. And that's probably what makes it a bit different and makes my business and my business approach different to someone who has a photo booth business. So that's sort of different. And pre-COVID, I was starting to really ramp up on the sort of commercial side of things, but obviously working in sort of the events and that sort of industry, hospitality, has been wiped out.
Yeah, and how did you find that then? What was your kind of personal reaction to that? And much like I presume many others, but being in the events industry, you were hit very hard when we were, you know, it was kind of, how did you find it and how did it make you feel?
Oh, it was awful. I'll be brutally honest, literally overnight, within the space of the week, the first sort of week, I had 3 months of business literally wiped out. And it was very emotionally draining because you're dealing with people. I mean, I do a lot of weddings, so you're dealing with people that are actually having really special occasions postponed, or, you know, they don't know when that's going to happen. You imagine, you know, a lot of us are married in here. You imagine your wedding, you know, just going overnight. So it was really emotionally draining from that point of view. And then inside, you're dealing with your emotions of your business and how am I going to survive financially? My business was just coming up for 2 years old. So going into year 3 was my year of actually making some money. I'd really made some good foundations. So it was really difficult, and it was a complete roller coaster, a bit like Ali said, like Sarah. I did a couple of times I'd get an email through from someone and just burst into tears and just cry, and then I'd be like, come on, stop being stupid, you know, it's everything will be fine. And actually it's I'd say probably 98% of my bookings have all transferred to next year. Just for me now, it's really the not knowing when things are going to come back. So the hope of, will we get back to any sort of events this year where people are connecting? I guess that's my biggest worry at the moment, and making sure that I've got everything in place to handle the sort of demand and stuff next year.
Sure. And many other people in your boat, you know, who have experienced a similar thing at that point of the beginning of lockdown, and, you know, panic mode sets in, you think that's it, head in hands. What was the moment that you kind of pulled yourself together and thought, right, I've had my breakdown over this, now let's get on with something and do something and be proactive?
I had 2 weeks of it probably where I felt really, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I actually started to look after myself and started to look after my like health and nutrition, and joined some like health and fitness challenges. And actually I've lost 1.5 stone in weight, and I've probably lost loads of years of my life. I feel absolutely amazing. So my mindset was, I need to be fit, healthy and ready to tackle what is going to be thrown at me. And like a lot of business owners and a lot of people have said tonight, is when you're so busy, you're busy pleasing, very similar to Ali, you're busy looking after everyone else, that you don't really look after yourself. And for me, rushing around to events, from events, I just didn't take care of myself at all. And I looked an absolute state, and I felt it as well. So I feel like $1 million at the moment, and whatever's happened is a blessing in disguise. You know, I've sort of learned a lot about nutrition and health, and sort of just enjoying that journey as well.
So
at the
you've
moment.
been on your own personal journey, which is fantastic. And just to clarify, you did not look an absolute state. It's just how you feel, though, isn't it? And if you feel that way, then confidence and everything else is affected.
Yeah.
And the way that you operate your business and you come across and all of that. So it does start. And I think, again, what we've found from tonight is it does really start with you, doesn't it? And your health and your mental health and your well-being. And if you're not right and you're not well, then, you know, you can't pour from an empty cup. We're all self-employed people. We have to look after ourselves because we're investing in ourselves in order to invest in our businesses and to make sure that our businesses can operate to their maximum capacity and their full potential. So it's really great to hear that actually a positive has come from this negative with your business. Unfortunately, yes, okay, the pause button has been pressed right now. But it's great to hear that it's allowed you to reset yourself. So have you actually been working on your comeback strategy now then?
Yeah, I mean, I enrolled straight away on a marketing course that's specifically for my industry. So I've been doing that, which has also been challenging me. I've been probably busier than I've ever been, busier than before, but actually working on my business rather than running around, running myself ragged. And that's something that I'm going to take into next year when things come back, is that I'm going to be running my business rather than running the events. So I have got you know, a couple of people that were working with me to run events, and I'm going to hopefully be able to hand things over and actually grow my business at the same time. So yeah, and also coming up with a bit like everyone, same as Ali as well, echo you, a lot of businesses like mine were jumping straight on with these virtual sort of photo booths, but the technology was so bad that I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm not ready for that. But now, as time's gone on, technology has advanced, and I've managed to launch a virtual photo booth, which is great. You know, people that have got special occasions, birthdays, they're not going to get a second time. Like, I've got a girl that's got an 18th birthday event going on at the moment. It can run as long as it needs to, and she's going to get images from all her family and friends on a lovely sort of template, same border from everyone, with a nice birthday message that she can keep forever. So you're not going to get a second chance to turn 18 or 21 or 30 or 40. So it's sort of bringing that in terms of sort of personal events, and then companies and ideas, something they can put on a PR sort of stunt as well to show they're all together. So we can do that sort of a branded event as well.
One very quick question, because I know we're going to have to close in a second. You mentioned dealing with people emotionally when they were like highly charged. Have you got any sort of tips around that? Did you learn anything that you can share? I think that's really insightful.
I'm quite compassionate anyway, so I don't know, not really any tips as such, but I think just put yourself in their shoes and just be a human about it. That's all really. You know, if you can relate to people, then that's
awesome.
That's it.
Awesome. Ali's raised his hand. I think he wants to say one very quick thing, but I know we need to wrap up. Ali, do you want to come on very, very quickly? You've got literally 30 seconds.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, isn't it amazing how, like, businesses have adapted and taken things online? Because all the time when Lucy was speaking to staff, I was thinking, that is such a difficult thing. Like, how can you take that on? Like, how can you... And then, like, at the end, she just answered my question, and like,
yeah,
done it.
It's taken me weeks to work it out.
It's incredible though. Like, I've seen it so many different times, and I think, like, I was trying to wrap my brains, and there's not many businesses that, I know there is, like the hospitality especially is really difficult, but there's not many where you can't transition online. So I think that's been one of the great things about all of this. Anyway,
Definitely. Thanks for sharing.
You've made a really valid point there, is that, you know, it is that thing of, this is why we're all success stories here, is because everybody, the success in this element is that you've all made the effort and taken the steps, despite what responses you've had, or despite how successful those steps have been, or whether they've even made you any money yet. The fact is, the success is the fact that you've made those steps instead of like somebody said, you've been furloughed and you're sitting at home doing nothing, you're actually taking those steps to adapt. And
we'll all come out stronger, won't we, than
exactly.
the furloughed workers? And that's my mantra on it. I may
100%.
not have much money in my bank account, but it's not everything, is it?
Absolutely. No, it's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Lucy. It was really great to hear your story so far.